Hey guys, and thank you for watching. Today we are going to be playing our first dating sim on the stream. I don't often play them. Lovers of Aether. This is because we played Rivals of Aether on Monday. I highly enjoyed it. This is one of two other games in the series currently out. The other one is Creatures of Aether, which I have tried. It unfortunately stopped working on my phone. It's that card game from Final Fantasy. It's very similar to that. I enjoyed it. I wanted to get it to work, but it wasn't. But it's coming to Steam later this year. So we might check that out when that comes onto Steam. And then they're working on Dungeons of Aether, which sounds cool. I think they said there would be more news about that next year. And then a 3D fighting game, which I'm also excited about. Really love the universe of this. Next paycheck, I'm definitely picking up that comic. But yeah, let us get started in Lovers of Aether. Previous checkpoint will be our... There was no previous checkpoint, so that's fine. What is your name? Sound test. Okay. Yeah, by the way, I rewatched Monday's stream. Sorry that the sound was so unbalanced. I'm hopefully going to stop doing that sort of stream. But we'll see. Yeah, why not? Aether High. There she is. Aether High, home of the Heartbreakers. Just look at her, Chase. Have you ever seen something so beautiful? Solid as a rock she is, all done up in her purple and gold. She's a beauty, ain't she? I mean, I've seen better schools. I wouldn't say school's a prison, but I've seen better. Hey, you guessed right. Now let's get a move on. We're almost late. We'll never hear the end of it from Principal Loxodont. Phew, we made it. Right before the bell, too. I was sweating bullets there for a hot minute. Not that I can't handle a little heat. Zetterburn gives me a friendly nudge and plods over to his seat. Homeroom is as lively as ever. Rano is practicing his spin kicks in the corner. Horseburn is scribbling furiously in his notebook. But there's something special in the air, too. Something like love. I'm not going to be able to keep a straight face through any of this. That's right, the homecoming dance is tonight, and I still haven't asked anyone out. Is this our first dating sim, actually? Is Monster Prom a dating sim? Because we've done Monster Prom with my wife every year around Halloween, and yeah, we'll probably do it again this year. There are so many options, so many people I could ask. Still, it feels like something or someone is missing. Well, no time to think about it now. Class President Maple marches to the head of the room and raps the blackboard with a pointer, drawing everyone's attention. Good morning, class. I hope everyone's excited for the homecoming dance tonight. Woohoo! Homecoming, baby. Sylvanos whoops enthusiastically, drawing a handful of laughs. Maple puts her hands on her hips and sighs. Thank you for your input, Sylvanos. As I was saying, it has come to my attention that some of my more ardent supporters believe that I should be class president for life. I appreciate your faith in me. I therefore declare that we are holding a vote. All in favor of me, Maple, becoming class president for life. Say yeah. Crag gives a weak yeah, though I wonder if he even understood the question. And all those opposed say, I hereby relinquish my right to attend the homecoming dance. The classroom buzzes with murmurs and whispers, but nobody opposes her. As I suspected, the yeahs have won. I am, from here on, the fairly and democratically elected class president for life. Maple, do I have water? Dude. Oh my goodness. Alright. I thank all of you for your love and support. Carry on. Maple marches back to her seat, and after a moment of confused silence, homeroom returns to the lively chaos from just moments before. First period doesn't start for a little while. Maybe now's a good chance to talk to some people. So who should we talk to? So there's Zetterburn, Forsburn, Salinas, Fort Kane, Morano, Crag, Apsa, Maple, Raster. This is a new character for me. Aliana? Elos. Let's talk to the new character. What's up? Can you believe that Maple, Chase? What a shameless power grab. She's as crooked as a $2 tuning fork. I think she just really has a thing for school spirit. Yeah, right. Are you blind? Are you deaf? Are you so totally unable to understand rudimentary socio-political maneuvers to not know that she is a power-hungry robber baron looking to thieve the crown out from under our very noses? Alright. You need to start reading between the layers, Chase. Listen to the writing on the wall. Maple has big plans, and some brave soul has got to stop her. Okay. Atlas, what's up? Just another beautiful day in paradise, am I right, Chase? Oh yeah, it's like I died and went to school. I'm just happy to be here. So many hilarious and wacky classmates. Every day they give me a new nickname. Want to hear some? No. Right on, man. Later. No, not really. Zetterburn, what's up? Zetterburn's deep in conversation with a couple of members of the football team. The mighty lion gestures frenetically about some player or another. Hypnotizing the crew around him, I decide to see what's going on. And that's why the Jingle Boys can't handle one of my patented flaming throws trademark. His teammates erupt into a bout of raucous laughter. Oh, hey Chase, haven't had enough of me yet? I was just telling the guys about my throwing technique. Hey, I've got an idea. Uh-oh. How about we demonstrate it for the whole class? Hey Chase, go long. I think Atlas is open. Oh, good eye. Hey Atlas, catch. Zetterburn picks up a football and winds it for a Hail Mary. Atlas, completely oblivious to the situation, remains at his desk reading a book. Flaming throw. Zetterburn zings the ball with a reckless heave, and in the blink of an eye, it ricochets off Atlas's head with a dull thud. Atlas looks up from his book, confused, as if he didn't even feel the ball, and it paws his head. And I accidentally hit off the screen. Oh, did I just get hit with a football? Sorry, Atlas. Chase told me you were open. Hey, don't blame me. You're the one who threw the ball. Whoa, careful next time, boys, but great pass, boy. I sure like football. And pranks. Love them both. Atlas rubs his head one last time and returns to his book. Zetterburn and I share bemused looks and snigger quietly to ourselves. The would-be quarterback shrugs and returns to his teammates, immediately starting to his next big story. Suddenly, Zetterburn catches my attention with a lively wave and lumbers over to my seat. He gives me a playful grin, and there's a twinkle in his eye, as if he's up to something. So, homecoming dance, huh? Oh, he's definitely up to something. Yeah, homecoming dance. So, he gives a cloying smile and crosses his arms as if he's trying to hold something back. It doesn't work. Okay, just spill it. Who are you asking? I'm not sure yet. Sure, Chase. I've seen the way you look at Crag. I know what's up. No, definitely not Crag. Zetterburn winks and gives a good-natured elbow. Oh, I know who it is. It's the new girl, isn't it? As if on cue, the door bursts open and Clarence steps through. She gives a strange, almost suspicious glance into the hallway before shutting the door and slinking to her desk. It is her, isn't it? Claren, right? Yeah. Alright. Okay. So it looks like there's like 2 female options. So definitely not this option. This is probably like a keeping it open. Let's keep it open. I knew it. You better make your move faster. I'll beat you to it. Maybe I could talk to her for a little bit. I mean, what could it hurt? Walk over to Claren and pull a seat up next to her desk. Oh, hey, Chase, right? I'm still trying to get all the names down. I remember yours for some reason, though. Spooky. I really gotta work on differentiating voices. Why did I say that? Why am I so awkward? Alright. So, hey, Claren, I was wondering. What was I wondering? Where are you from? Phew, Claren does a quick glance down at her watch and scratches the back of her head. Oh, here and there, you know, I guess I travel a lot. I'm a traveler, so I travel. Okay, I watched the presentation they did this year, which may have a few spoilers for this game. So I know what is being implied here, but alright. At least I'm not the only awkward one here. That's cool. So, anywhere in particular? Well, that's classified, but okay, maybe I can trust you. I know this is going to sound weird, so bear with me. But I'm actually from... Suddenly, the PA system cuts in a roaring, tinny screech that sounds like it should be coming from an elephant. A cyborg elephant. This is your esteemed, benevolent Principal Loxodonte speaking. First period is beginning in 5 minutes. Please report to your first period classroom in an orderly and pacified manner. It looks like an elephant. And no discussion of the homecoming dance in the hallways. Dawdlers will be punished to the full extent of the pachyderm law. That is all. Oh darn, class is starting. I'll talk to you later, Chase. See ya. My face is already starting to hurt from all of the talking. Claren grabs her bag and rushes off. Well, I didn't totally blow it, I think. Zedburn bounds up behind me and gives me a lighthearted jostle. So, how'd it go, champ? You get her number. Let's just go to class. Ouch. Well, at least you've got all day. Good luck. Sounds like you'll need it. Yeah. Is there a way to, way to get the menu? Because this would be a good thumbnail. Probably not. Oh well, that's fine. So let's see. We can talk to Claren, talk to Maple, Eliana. These are okay. Out of these 3, it's the person that we all know that is everything is negative, and for the most part, power grabbing a little bit, and then new girl. I mean, honestly, let's just go for Claren. What's up? Claren sneakily looks down either into the hallway before slinking into an empty room. Being the creepy voyeur that I am, I decide to follow her. She kneels down and pulls some kind of electrical device out of her backpack, which she plants on the wall. It makes a conspicuous zap sound, and Claren gets up, bolting out of the room, and bumping into me. Oof. Ouch. Oops. Hey, Chase, didn't mean to bump into you. She bashfully rubs the back of her neck. It's no prob. Hey, what was that weird device you were using back there? Claren does a startled jump, but quickly composes herself. Oh, that was, a cell phone charger. Just a cell phone charger, that's all. It's not very convincing. Play along. Oh, of course, a cell phone charger. Yep, just a regular cell phone charger. There's an awkward pause. Well, hey, It's good talking to you, Chase, but I've got to run. Maybe we can talk after class. She's definitely up to something, but what? The PA system suddenly cuts in, ushering us to our next destination. Proceed to first period immediately. The rowdy students file into their first class, A Theory in History 101. I take a seat in the back near Raster, Zetterburn, Edalus, Crag, and Absa, just as I look for Claren. Is Absa not? You can go. Just as I look for Claren in the crowd, she slips into the seat desk beside me. Raster breathes a long, dramatic sigh. Man, I'm wiped. I got none left in the tank. Let me guess, you just flew in and boy are your arms tired. I gotta stop doing deep voices for guys. That's a great joke. That's a great joke, Zetterburn. For your information, fire breath. Okay. For your no, not that. For your information, fire breath, I was out last night with a little ladybird. You sure it wasn't a ladybird? Well, a slam dunk. Priceless. I already forget the... You should have seen me, Papa. I was doing some diggity dance moves that would have made you cry. I don't doubt that. I am awful at this. Raster's so cool, you guys. He's got so many tricks with the chicks. Illusions, more like. Yeah, I don't get it. Okay, I gotta come up with a different voice for her. Did anybody study for the test today? There's a chest? With that, Mrs. Granny gently raps on the board with her cane. Can people stop doing that? Legitimately, if that happened, oh my god, I hate that in every movie, TV show that does it. They're talking about the, imagine a board here, blackboard here, or chalkboard here, scraping on it. That there's a, and I've not been tested for this, but the symptoms line up too perfectly. But there's a condition with hearing where specific sounds, most common one is chewing, which happens with me, will have an adverse reaction to someone. So some people can chew and listen to that, and it's normal. If I hear someone chewing, it instantly pulls me into a uncomfortable rage. Not like I'm so angry it's uncomfortable for other people, but like I get uncomfortable and get angry. That the chalkboard one specifically, and it's the same with rubbery sounds, so like balloons moving. It's even just talking about it is hurting my fingertips and my teeth. I know partially why, but I won't get fully into it. Anyways. All right, class, shut your mouths. Today is your first test of the school year on A Theory in History. These are all basic questions about the world around you. You should have no trouble answering them, especially because you're all from here and not playing some sort of video game. Watertown is the merchant capital, I would say, because they have the business bureau with the Orcanon on them. What is the name of the military arm of the Air Nation? It's definitely not this. It's got to be the Air Armada. Why was the rock wall built? Protect and contain force. I'm so glad we did this just 2 days ago. Who is the rock wall patrolled by? It's the wall rollers. It's not the wall rollers. Who controlled the skies before the Air Armada? The elders? Okay. Where did the elders reside? This sounds familiar. Okay. What is the northernmost continent of Aether called? Barren was southern. Chill zone is probably southern. And I think Nether is the center, right? So it's got to be the Ice Barrens, right? Okay. That was from Process of Elimination right there. What people live in the Ice Barrens? This is not information that was given in the story. I'm gonna get the Barren Bears. Cool. What entity protects the Hyperboreans? Okay, entity, so it's not the wall. The swarm of seals, the harbor guard. Okay. What event caused the air armada to form? Feel a light tap on my shoulder. Hey Chase, I'm having some trouble with this one. You wouldn't know the answer, would you? I mean, okay. I feel like if this was Maple, cheating is wrong would be the correct answer. But let's assist her. Yeah, it's the founding of the water trading company. Not sure about that. No, I'm sure of it, definitely. Who cares anyway? It's just school. You know, Chase, I admire your cavalier attitude towards the artificial structures of the education establishment. Yeah, exactly. Enough dawdling. Idle minds are the devil's discoffit. Q? What the? Okay, I'm not even going to try to re-say that one. So get your books and get moving. I never went to high school. I was homeschooled. Well, I went to a non-accredited private school. Okay. So there's Maple, Raster, Horseburn. Let's go with Raster. What's up? Hey, what's bumpin', Daddy-o? Did I spot you at the Ding Dong Tree last night? I don't know what you're talking about. Me oh my, were you missing out? Unlimited chicks at the Ding Dong Tree, my man. It was hotter than a heat wave in the Firelands. Cool. Maybe I'll catch the next one. Ding-a-dong and a rub-a-dub-dub, Big Papa. Okay, you two. Shake your bacon, baby. And PA system's coming in. Proceed to second period. Yeah, preschool, obviously. And elementary school up to second. It was weird. I think I did testing for 3rd grade, but did lessons at home. And then 4th onwards was just homeschooled / non-accredited private. Because at that time, I'm the youngest of 4, so at that time, 2 years prior, my oldest sibling got pulled from middle school due to issues with one of the other students constantly harassing him, which is weird that they pulled him, but anyways. And then a year later, with seeing how well it did on finances and that kind of stuff, they pulled my sister. And then also that same year, halfway through the semester, my other brother was having some issues with one of his teachers, specifically. Like, you'll hear horror stories of teachers picking on students. That was essentially happening to him. So halfway through that semester, they pulled him, and then by the time it came for me to see if I was going to start 3rd grade or not, it was like, well, all of the other kids in this family are homeschooled, so we're just gonna homeschool you. And I was supposedly, my mom says I was begging for it, mainly because it's like, oh, I could be home and playing Smash Bros. Every day, please. Anyways, Oh boy, English class. Talk about a snoozer. Nothing puts me to sleep faster than Mr. Kai's droning lectures. I don't think I've made it through one class without dozing off. I did go to community college, though. Um, but it wasn't periods. You set your own credits and hours and schedules, and I try to make sure to have at least an hour to an hour and a half between all my classes, which was a very smart decision. I was able to get everything wrapped. I was there the majority of the day. I would get there at like 8 a.m. and I wouldn't be out of there until like 8 p.m. But I was able to get all my classes done in. I did my first semester, my last year of high school, and I was able to get the rest of my credits for the certificate I was going for done in 4 semesters. And then I unfortunately did a 5th semester to see if I should go for an associate's. But unfortunately, the day after graduating for my certificate, I started working full time. Actually, more than full time. I was working like 52 hours a week. So starting up school again, even though I did all online classes, I just failed miserably. I did thankfully only do, I think I did 2 classes, a programming class and one other class I can't even remember, because I had to have at least 6 credits to get financial aid. But unfortunately, I failed I think I withdrew from whatever that other class was, and I failed the programming class because I didn't withdraw in time, and I just couldn't. I do not have a programming mind, and yeah. That's my school history. Anyways, that's strange. That looks like he's not here yet. Hey, Elena, catch. What? With a clumsy punt, Salvanos careens his hemp hacky sack halfway across the classroom in a chaotic arc. Much to Salvanos' dismay, the ball lands in Orcane's blow. Idiot. Alright. Halfway impressed with his hole-in-one, Salvanos gives a goofy grin and shrugs as Orcane blows the hacky sack back. Or at least tries to. He's wearing a hat, though, so that doesn't exactly make sense. Or at least tries to. The ball lands on Forsburn's desk, who is scribbling furiously over a notebook. My poem! Hey, which one of you did that? So this is my brother. Twitch.tv/RoboKid121. Oh shit, does that mean that I would be Zetterburn? That's not fitting at all. I am not a jock in any sense of the word. I've not seen a character in here yet that would represent my archetype. Other than being awkward and lying about time traveling gadgets. Not that I would. Now I would definitely do that just to mess with people. But yeah. Orcane. It was definitely Orcane. You again, huh? I'm gonna pound the living daylights out of. Raster, cool as a cucumber, steps between the two and raises his feathered arm in a gesture of peace. I mean, I haven't seen Orcane or the frog guy. I mean, frog guy was doing kicks. Based off this picture, though, Orcane is definitely the kind of student I was. I was very good in public school. I would pay attention. I never got below the highest grade in public school, other than we had PA, physical activity, but then we had something that was also very similar to physical activity, but it was just like learning to tie your shoes or learning to tie ropes, learning to tie a tie, which in the first grade is weird, but that sort of stuff, for whatever reason, confused the hell out of me when I was that age. And actually, I do implore, if anyone's got kids or anyone knows someone that is having similar issues with that, do keep pushing it. Do try to get them to learn, especially how to tie your shoes. I know that sounds dumb, but yeah, I did not properly have laced shoes until I was maybe 16 because it was so difficult when I was younger, and then I got pulled out. So we just never taught. I was never taught it after then, and yeah. All right. What's your bag, Daddy-O? No need to get unglued. Let's save the theatrics for after the dance. Wouldn't want to show up with a fresh pair of shiners, huh? Disaster averted. Force burns eyes, slumps back into his chair, and gives Orkane the stink eye before getting back to his writing. Orkane gives Raster the closest thing to a thumbs up. His pause commanded. Okay, Orkane might be. It might be. Looks like we got a little time before Mr. Kai shows up. Maybe I can chat with some people to pass the time. Okay, so let's talk to Absa and see what's up there. Absa sits at her desk, chewing absently at her pencil eraser. It perks up when I walk by. I also did a lot of that when I was younger. Oh, jeez, this is kind of embarrassing, but could I ask you for a favor? I'm just doing this voice and doing slightly different pitches for everyone, and I need to stop. Sure, I guess. Please don't tell anyone, but I accidentally ate my homework. Could I look at yours? Homework? You ate your homework? It just looked so delicious. The delicate curves of my cursive. I'm losing the voices. The sensitive but firm loops, the off-white collage ruled paper. I couldn't control myself, Chase. Well, I guess you are a goat. So, would you mind if I just looked at yours real quick? I'll be 2 seconds, I promise. I think I left it in my locker. Oh well, maybe next time then. Or I'm not gonna eat my homework again. You know what I mean. Well, I guess I'm gonna try to hammer something out real fast. Thanks for listening. Obviously gotta get in on clearing. Clearing is off. A remote part of the room. You're furtive? I was homeschooled. Furtively tinkering with something on the wall. Every once in a while, she gives a suspicious glance towards the door before resuming her work. Hey, Claire, what are you up to? She gives a startled jump and then tries to hide whatever she was working on, but it's not very subtle. Oh, hey, Jace, you kind of surprised me. Oh, I'm not really doing anything, just going over notes, that's all. It looked a little like you were messing around with something on the wall, but okay. Well, okay, maybe a little. It's messing with the PA system, just taking a look inside. Why? Because I'm just interested in technology. Can I help? Actually, Clarion pauses for a moment to ponder her response. Yeah, you're cool. I think I can tell you. Suddenly, the PA system crinkles and set with static, and Principal Loxodon's dying car horn of a voice blares through. Well, that is accurate to the voice I gave it. Dying car horn. Oh my god. I'm almost out of this water. How many periods are in high school? Something you would think I would know at least from, like, movies and stuff. They talked about homeroom earlier, but okay, so if homeroom was earlier, I thought homeroom was in between second period and third period. And I thought there were 4? Maybe I'm just going based off of football and quarters, which is another thing I don't follow, but it was, okay. This is your merciful and altruistic Principal Loxodon speaking. Any students caught tampering with official school equipment will be promptly suspended, or worse. See anyone acting suspiciously, report this to me immediately. Resume learning. Okay. Crap, this never happened, okay? I'll explain it all later. See. Okay. Let's check out what kind of person Orkane is. Orkane sits at his desk with a crafty look on his face, obviously scheming up something ridiculous. I decide to talk to him, more out of concern that he's about to do something stupid, and less from genuine interest. I know that look, Orkane. You're up to something. I really wish, one, that I haven't been destroying my voice this entire time, and two, that I could speak really highly, because I just want to give him, like, a dolphin voice, even though I know he's supposed to be an orca. Let's see, let's go Finding Nemo. Oh, it's nothing at all. It's clearly something. He tries to hide his smile, but it spreads across his weird orca thing face, despite his best efforts. Okay, I've been thinking about Maple. Now that she's class president for life, that means I can prank her with impunity, right? Because what's the point of a prank if you're not punching up? Accurate, I don't condone. In most circumstances. But definitely don't punch down. Okay? I want to knock her down a few pegs with a real whammy of a prank. Hit her right in the kisser. There we go. I just can't figure out how I'm going to do it. Okay, so pie to the face, that's assault. Like, okay, assault might be to an extreme, but like, I would never do, even unless you're an utter trash person, I would never do that to a person, because that's, one, going to scare them to see something rushing towards their face. So you have the fear. Two, injury slightly upon impact. Not much, but still. Especially if it's hot. Three, cleanup is a thing that they're going to have to take. And so this is not just of this instance, but it's really kind of like a multi-hour issue. Yeah, that's also how you get ants. Rewriting one of the speeches is very direct. And would be one, easily avoidable if you're able to wing stuff pretty easily. So not too hurtful, definitely not a long-term thing. And then drawing mustaches on the posters. Again, not that big of a deal. That's probably the least big deal, but he's wanting to specifically down a peg. That's not going to be down a peg. That's going to be, hey, someone's drawing mustaches on these posters. Possibly screwing up one of their speeches and making them have to think on the fly. That would be more direct in what he's trying to do, without also possibly causing torment for this person on a I can't think of what I'm trying to say, but more than just in the instance. King begins to cackle maniacally. Something I did used to do a lot, drawing the attention of everyone in the room. It's a little worrying, to be honest. I like the way you think, Chase. You could be a real provocateur if you put your mind to it. Arcane streaks the closest thing he has to a chin and gives me an approving nod. I think I'm gonna do it. Now I just gotta plan the dirty details. Well, I'll leave you to it, Arcane. Good luck. Suddenly, the door slams open. Mr. Kai stomps into the classroom and sits down at his desk. My face continues to hurt. Oh no, why did he have to be a crocodile? God. So maybe this has been hinted at some of the streams me and my wife has done, but I've done a bit of voice work, mostly for family. One of which was a children's book about a crocodile. And it's a children's book, so I gave the crocodile a voice for that. This is a thing in voice acting, is voice the character to your audience, which is why, a lot of younger kids, like 3D animated programming, will have super high-pitched voices, and even adults will sound super high up unless they're a villain, in which case they'll usually be down in this range and be exact, because evil must have a deep voice, but it must still be exaggerated. So I did that for the crocodile, and I will do that just this once, because I don't think anyone's going to watch this highlight. I'm hoping.
Excuse me, pupils. I'm sorry for the delay. I'm sure we're all itching to get to our English presentations.
English presentations?
So we'll begin without delay.
Ooh, it hurts to do.
Orkane, would you like to start us out?
Sorry, Mr. Kyle, I'll have to go tomorrow. My human ate my homework. A few students snicker at Mr. Kai as he folds his arms and rolls his eyes. Orkane might be what I would have become had I stayed in the public school system and actually broke out of my introvertedness. I definitely was. I played many a prank on my family growing up, but never in school. Never in public either. You don't. That felt like a boundary too far for me when I was younger, and still to this day, definitely. I'm not gonna do the voice anymore. My throat is really torn. It's already been a day for me. So sorry about the voices. But you and I will have a word after class, Mr. Orkane. All right, then. How about Gulp? You, Chase. How'd I know he was going to call me? I didn't even know the book was about. I slowly shuffled to the front of the class, as if the seconds I've wasted will somehow spare me for the inevitable fate. The class's stares feel like a million tons. I can feel their judgment. They know I didn't do the reading. Well, looks like I'll just have to wing it. Maybe if I talk about what my friends told me before class, I can make it through this. I didn't ask anyone about the book report. Right, this story, like all stories, begins with a beginning. And like all beginnings, this beginning begins with the strong spoon dashing the weak. Two city, okay, definitely not two city. Hungry goats eating everything they see. Okay. So here's what's gonna happen. It's one of three things. Either A, it's going to be no matter what, as long as you pick the answer that you heard before class, while odd, will turn out to be the actual story. Two, people will think you're making fun of them. Or three, people will find it funny that you're being wrong. But we'll go with the funny answers. After a grueling journey, our heroes had to contend with... Oh, I'm going to have to read the... Non-stop pranks, gags, jibs, jabs, capers, spoofs, goofs, gaffs, and laughs. Crag Fair. Just Crag Fair. Anime. Wow, a bot that also should have been banned from the get-go with that name. Alright. Overall, the moral of the story is don't rat out your friends to the man. That was... Mr. Kai pauses for a moment to ruminate. I can feel a bead of sweat start to trickle down my forehead. You could cut the tension in the air with a knife. The most creative interpretation of Animal Farm. I know very little about Animal Farm. I've not read it. I've only heard some stories. People always say Animal Farm and not Children of the Corn. Maybe it is Children of the... No, not Children of the Corn. The one where the kids go to the island and there's the conch. I always hear about those in the same conversations, but I've never read them. But with my loose understanding, that's not totally off base. Anyways, well done. You get an A+ for your presentation. I sigh a breath of relief, visibly deflating as I drift back to my desk and melt into my seat. Now, Sylvanos, would you like to give your presentation? My human also ate my homework. So, Forceburn, Maple, Eliana, sorry. Forceburn? Maybe you could help with poetry? Well, see, so that's the other thing. Do we have to show an like, why was Bird? Why did Bird? Let's talk to Maple. Let's see what's up with Maple. Shirt on tucked. 1 demerit. Sorry. Not school, but that hit for, other people I knew growing up. That one line, if not said sarcastically, if she doesn't say just kidding after this, that one line, this Maple is not a great character for me. Me? Back talk too much. Okay. I quickly tug at my shirt and stand up straight just for good measure. Sorry, Class President Maple. Say, when did Aether High start using a demerit system? We haven't, at least not officially, but I'm prototyping it on you, working out all the kinks before I fully implement it. Yeah, I would not like this person. Goodness. What do you think so far? Seems pretty strict. Well, of course it is. If we don't hold Aether High students to impossibly high standards, how will we develop into ultimate fighting force and conquer Treetop Lodge High? By not worrying about that so much. Well, thanks for the feedback, Chase. Only to overlook your egregious transgressions this time. Just don't let it happen again. Sure thing, Maple. Proceed to third period. How many periods? How many periods in high school? Google. 6 or 7, sometimes 8. Traditionally 6. So we're like halfway. Ugh. Alright. Sorry, I'm enjoying the game immensely. It's more just my face hurts a lot. Anyways, the computer lab looks like it's straight out of the 80s. The computers are so old they were probably here when my parents went to Aether High. Hey, it's the Bird dude. Sit down at the workstation next to Eliana, who slowly hunts and pecks keys with her face. It looks extremely uncomfortable. She gives me an exasperated look. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Computer lab buzzes with energy as the day draws close to its end. Everyone is excited as the day draws close to its end. Okay. Maybe there is only 4 periods. Everyone is excited about the homecoming, and rumors are starting to spread. You're never going to believe who asked Zetterburn to the dance. Was it Craig? Oh. I mean, Ayala? Really? Like, did she really think she had a shot with, and let's be totally honest here, the guy who's probably gonna be picked for homecoming? Who is Ayala? I don't know. Well, you should hear what's going on around, what's going around about Chase. my ears suddenly perk up. Oh, I think I heard about that. Isn't Chase going to ask? Apsa's tantalizing rumor is cut off when the class door slams open, and the professor's Swiftwing stumbles ponderously inside. He insists we call him a professor, even though he only has an associate's degree from Air Armada Community College. Community college is educational. Shut up. I just flew in from the fire cap. Oh. I'm not even going to finish that. The classroom takes on a bewildered din as Professor Swiftwing storms angrily to his desk. When he stumbles over Apsa's bag, he looks like he's about to explode in rage, but somehow wills himself to hold back. I will say, again, the 3 years I was in public school and the 3 years I was in community college, I never had a teacher like that ever got enraged, which was nice. I went for a recording arts degree or recording arts certificate. Unfortunately, they did not have a degree at the college I went to, but all my music teachers were phenomenal. My worst teacher was probably, and he was not a bad teacher, but my worst teacher was probably my music history teacher, just by the fact that he would ask interpretive questions or subjective questions, and then even if you answered, especially in that sort of environment, I had taken a writing class at the time, so I was getting out of this headspace a little bit, but my a writing class that cared more about the content of the writing rather than the specific way of the writing, I should say. But he was definitely, I had gotten a few C's on certain things because my answers were boring. Also, to have a grading system per answer was a bit weird for me, but no overly angry teachers or close to the edge, but I've had friends that have not only shared their experience with that going through school, but knowing friends or family that have become teachers that might get that way on occasion, specifically with sports teachers. Super glad I didn't have any of that. Yeah, anyways. When he stumbles over Epps' bag and he looks like, oh. Today isn't the day. Don't speak to me. Don't look at me. Just play the darn computer game. And form your own darn groups. I don't care who you partner with. Not today. Seems, huh? Maybe this is my shot to chat out my crush. But she's not on here. That's alright. I know nothing about him. Oh, you can't see my mouse. I know nothing about Frogman. I don't like Green Wolf, as they seem to be the kind of harasser printer. I don't like Maple's strictness to rules in terms of enforcing that upon others. Birdman's no. In terms of, like, obviously these are exaggerated, but in terms of social groups that I would be in, Orcane and Polar Bear Man are probably the closer to the two that I would run in. Snake. We'll go with Snake Person. The reason why I know this archetype super well is, again, plays to some of those social circles I would run into. Want to partner up. Also, maybe we can assist her. Level start. Oh, can I tell you something? Stereotypes run rife in this school. Am I using that right? School is rife. Yes. Now, stereotypes, usually I disavow them. That's about right. They are a vile, hideous way to characterize a person. Yes. To associate them with a few choice details. Yes. And then extrapolate those onto what? What's wrong? Yes. Have fun on your Tumblr. Yeah, I mean, same. You are doing it right now. You're doing it right now. I'd rather have people like this in high school than develop more or less. What's the word? I'm not reading anything she's saying right now. Combative. Oh my god. That is accurate, though. Damn it. Again, I don't have an issue with people like this at this point, you know, assuming this is a high school. But that type of combativeness, continues afterwards. Oof. Turn that combativeness into what am I thinking of? I want to say action, but that's gonna be misinterpreted. Healthy action, so not like, hey, this person said a thing 10 years ago, cancel them, but more embolden and enforce the types of behavior and groups that you would like to see emboldened, rather than constantly harassing those who have made mistakes in the past, especially if it was a vast time in the past. Now, if people that make those mistakes say no, that wasn't a mistake, that's just who I am, then yeah, that person's probably a garbage person. But people make mistakes. Welcome to the internet. Everyone has a phase of making the worst mistakes when they're learning what stuff means and being mistold what stuff means. Yeah, it's it hurts so much because I know people like this, and I've known people like this that, again, have grown up to be more less combative, and more educational in their approach to people that are having hurtful behavior, is the way I would say it. So not something that you just don't like, but something that is actively hurting people around you. Anyways, computers were never my strong suit. I feel like I've demonstrated that more than adequately today. Professor Swiftwing, trembling so angrily he can barely contain himself, stomps over to me and puts his hand on my shoulder. Looks like things aren't going so hot over here, huh? Computers are not really my best subject. I'm going to have to make a note of this in the log. What's your name? Bradshaw. Okay, Bradshaw. I'm sure your parents won't be happy to hear about this at all. Probably not. With class over, I grab my bag and bolt into the hallway before Bradshaw or anyone else can call me out on my stolen identity. Talk to Zetterburn. Let's talk to Zetterburn. I don't know what's gotten into Forceburn. He used to be so cool. Now he's like the lamest guy in school. It's not great for my cred, if I'm being honest. That's a toxic mentality. Man, why can't my brother stop being like himself and start being more cool so I look better? Hate that. Hey, you can always be honest with me. She's dead. It's dead weight, Chase. Drags me down. He makes me heavy. He weighs heavy on me. The situation weighs heavy on me. Feeling that way is natural in terms of when family members are going through rough stuff. That takes a toll on the people around you. But expressing that in the way of saying you're being brought down, that he's dead weight, that's not good. Good situation. Having a brother who is so lame, it's fine. He'll snap out of his stupid edgy phase at some point. Till then, I will ignore him. Thankfully, me and my brother went through our edgy phase around the same time. And you know, he's possibly still in it, and that's fine. It's not a phase in that case, but you know, that's fine. Hey, I'll still put on some MCR some days. It's fine. Also, I keep looking over to the left because that's where the stream is active for me. I always make the point of looking at what the camera is showing rather than looking at the camera. I'm working on it. I'm sure that'll be fine. PA system suddenly cuts in, ushering us to our next destination. Homerooms for final attendance. Okay. What a day. Surprise history test, an English presentation for a book I didn't read, and a computer lab. And I haven't even gotten to the hardest part, asking someone to the dance. Plop down into my seat and close my eyes, tuning out the homeroom chaos as I take deep meditative breaths. Okay, I can do this. I've been going over the lines in my head for the last hour. Play it cool. Be like Raster. Don't be like Raster. Genuinely, be yourself. That sounds so repetitive, and you're like, but I'm not cool. Cool is not always good. And as lame as this sounds, being honest is probably the coolest thing a person can do in terms of it depends on what you find as cool. And in relationship type deals, what I would say is cool is being just being honest and being natural would be the best way to say it. If you can be yourself and be mostly comfortable being yourself around others, that is probably the best thing in any sort of situation. And if you can't be natural around yourself, or yourself naturally around others, that is something that should be more introspectively looked in upon. Probably. But yeah, be yourself genuinely. I'd rather go with a person who can be honest that they're nervous about a situation than someone who's just coming all sly on the situation. Yeah. Anyways. No, I couldn't pull it off. Just be myself. Oh, well, that's what they're saying. Be genuine, sincere, like Craig, honestly. Or maybe sensitive and brooding, like Forceburn. But a little funny too, like Orcane. Or maybe, oof. Zetterburn breaks my trance with an overly enthusiastic pat on the back and sits down on the other side of my table, straddling his seat with the swagger of a spaceship commander. So, school's almost over. You gonna ask anyone to the dance, or are you chickening out? Just psyching myself out right now. Yeah, I got you. I'm kind of doing it vicariously through you. I've never seen that word spelled out. Don't make fun of me. So, who are you asking? You know, I heard a rumor going around about you and Bradshaw. Okay. I'm just sinking your chain. Really, though, I've heard some things through the grapevine. Going round the grapevine, amigo. Or is it amiga? I'm not doing so caliente in Spanish class. Making fun of the fact that you didn't specify your gender at the beginning. This is it. It's time to do it. It's time to finally ask someone to the dance, but who's it going to be? Obviously, we've been pursuing Claren. It would never be Maple. The only other... Again, Eliana... Not at this current time. Absa's fine. But we haven't interacted with Absa. We've interacted with Claren, and that's who we're going to be going with. Aha, I knew it. I flippin' knew it. Seriously, I ship you two. I can't help but roll my ears. Oh, eyes. I thought it was being like, okay, no, it's fine. Roll my ears. What animal could do that? I guess cats kind of can. Okay. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. It's been a hard 2 days at work, and my brain is fried. Really, though, I could kind of tell. I mean, the way you've been sneaking looks this whole conversation. She's right behind you, so probably not. Hey, get to it. School's almost over. You're gonna knock it out of the park, I'm sure of it. Claren is off in the corner of the room, messing with something in her bag. The lump in my throat rises as I start walking towards her, but I try to push it down with a drink of water. Oh, hey Chase, what's up? Take a deep breath and force down the lump in my throat with all the willpower I've got. Hey. I was trying to do a funny voice break. Okay. Hey Claren, I was kind of wondering if you want to go to the dance with me. What happened to all those smooth lines I rehearsed? The fall confidence I practiced in the mirror. I didn't even drop a sick nag on her. I blew it. That sounds cool. Wait, did she just say yes? But there's something I gotta tell you first. Claren sighs, fidgets with her bag nervously, and leans in close to me, whispering. This is gonna sound crazy, but bear with me, and don't let this get out. I'm trusting you with this because you're cool and cute. Okay? Those are the same things my wife said to me before we started dating. Anyways, so I'm actually from the future. Did she just call me cute? A little embarrassing, but in the conversation that we were having at the time, that is also what I focused on. A grim dystopian future where Principal Loxodon is actually Emperor Loxodon now, has taken over the Fire Empire and rules with an iron techno fist. I was sent to the past to destroy him before he gets too powerful, so do you think you can help me? The school's PA system begins to crackle, and the screech of the microphone feedback pierces my ears. Is this thing on? Ahem, this is your esteemed and benevolent overlord, Principal Loxodon. Vigorously reminding all students that there will be no seditious conspiring on school grounds. All students found scheming will be given weekend detention and miss the homecoming dance. That is all. Crap, that's our cue. Hey, come with me. In one cool, quick motion, Claren flings her backpack over her shoulder and grabs my hand. This way. Hands clasped together, we bolt through the classroom and down the hallway. Wherever it is she's leading me, I get the feeling it's going to be exciting. Oh, is that it? Congratulations. We've done it. What's this? Oh. we probably... Sorry, but we probably shouldn't do that on Twitch anymore. But, hey! We beat the game! And, went with Claren. Which, cool. So yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching, genuinely. Super appreciate it. I will definitely be keeping eyes on the Aether games. Yeah, I'd love to do this game again, maybe with my wife. Having her take the lead and saying, "Hey, not Claren. We already went with Claren once." But yeah, let's continue to see what's going on. Oh, is that it? I guess that's it. Oh my goodness. Oh, and it shows... I see. So you can get all the ending scenes. We're not gonna do that for this game, but yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. Went a little over an hour. I know that Sunday we will be back doing Little Town Hero. I've seen mixed reviews of it, but it's by Game Freak. It looked interesting to me. I hear it's kind of a board game, card game type hybrid. That's right in my wheelhouse, especially right now. I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do tomorrow. I was thinking maybe Creatures of Aether, just get that out of the way, but again, it looks like they might be adding some well-needed single-player content in the Steam release, so I'm just gonna wait for that. But yeah, thank you guys so much. I'll see you tomorrow. Oh, real quick, as I've mentioned a few times, my schedule will most likely be changing in June. Something I have forgotten to mention is my wife's schedule. We used to, not regularly, but like twice a month, do a series called Experiencing Games with my wife, where we would play games that either I've played quite a bit of, but she hasn't, or vice versa, or something we've both been interested in. We haven't been able to do that recently because of our work schedules. But our work schedules are lined up again. And even once my schedule changes, her schedule will be changing around the same time again. So we will hopefully be doing some more of those types of playthroughs soon. As always, we will do something in October. Those Monster Prom playthroughs are kind of my favorite thing to do. I look forward to those around that time. And what is it? Monster Prom XXL came out on Xbox. I know it's just Monster Prom 1 with all the DLC, but I own it because it was on sale. So maybe we'll do a playthrough of that, or maybe the Monster Camp DLC will be out at some point. This is months down the road, but yeah. In the meantime, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you tomorrow.